Hi guys, happy Mother's Day to you. I hope you were able to safely and socially distance celebrate Mother's Day, or maybe if your moms are home with you, you're able to celebrate and appreciate them and show them how much you love them, and you've reached out and said hello. So I hope everybody's doing well on a very nice Mother's Day today. In today's video, I wanted to share a theory I had with you guys, theory slash thoughts regarding whether or not we could see two characters return to the big screen later this year. Well, hopefully later this year, providing it doesn't get delayed again, but this time due to the pandemic. I want to share my thoughts with you guys about whether or not we could see both the characters Rodan and Mothra return in Godzilla vs. Kong, which is set to come out November 20th of this year. So far, it has not been delayed or postponed due to the pandemic. However, unfortunately, that could change. But for the moment, it seems to be safe. So before I begin, of course, I just want to give you a fair warning. I will be discussing spoilers for the recent monster film that came out last summer, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Obviously, I'm going to be going to serious spoiler territory here, so if you still have not seen Godzilla King of the Monsters, go watch it. It's so much fun. It's so damn good. So in case you haven't seen it, I will be discussing huge spoilers, particularly regarding the fates of both Rodan and Mothra. So this is your spoiler warning. You have been warned. That being said, let's dive right into it. So at the end of King of the Monsters, we saw Godzilla and Mothra team up to take down Ghidorah and Rodan. Ghidorah had basically awakened all of the other sleeping titans all over the earth, and they were all responding to his commands and just wreaking havoc, destroying everything. Only Godzilla and Mothra were strong enough to stop him. And so Godzilla defeats Ghidorah in a bloody battle, but before that occurs, Mothra actually sacrifices herself in order to transfer her essence, her strength, into Godzilla once she is disintegrated by a blast from Ghidorah. You know, her essence goes into Godzilla, and he's able to use that combined with the strength of the atomic bomb that the U.S. government used on him to bring him back to life, so to speak. And that way he's able to turn into burning Godzilla, and then he just annihilates Ghidorah, which is awesome. And, you know, when I first watched this movie, I thought Rodan had bitten the big one when Mothra jabbed him with her stinger, but apparently she just hit him in the shoulder as he appears in the closing scene of the film once the other titans show up after Godzilla decimates Ghidorah, and Rodan is the first to bow as a sign of respect or submission to Godzilla as the one true king of the monsters, and the other monsters quickly follow suit. So now that Mothra survived and Mothra died and Rodan survived, which is very funny because I thought their fates would be completely reversed. That is where we left off with these two characters. Now, in the closing credits of Godzilla King of the Monsters, it shows how life on Earth is starting to return to something not exactly normal, but humans are learning to coexist with their Titan brethren, such as Rodan has now relocated to a new mountain, a volcano, in Fiji, where he's presumably resumed hibernation, since that's what he was awakened from when they woke him up in Mexico. And Monarch has discovered another massive egg that very well could be Mothra. They don't outright confirm it is a Martha larva or egg, but it's most likely that, since Mothra has a habit of always coming in pairs. You know, one hatches is a larva, then she cocoons and becomes the beautiful moth-type creature that she is, and then whenever one of them dies, another one shortly reemerges to start the cycle all over again. In fact, it was during a Monsterverse watch-along that director Michael Dougherty teased that Mothra doesn't really die. She's beaten death many times, and it's just a never-ending cycle of life and death for her. So when one dies, another one will just take its place. So that's especially exciting because I think, you know, even though it's not outright confirmed, and I doubt it's going to be confirmed by anybody until the movie itself hits theaters or until it comes out, we're never going to get a yes or no, hard yes or no answer from anybody, whether it's Adam Wingard, who's directing Godzilla vs. Kong, or any of the cast or crew involved as to whether or not these two characters will appear in the film. I personally believe there's a very strong chance they both could, and here's why. This is a quote from Adam Wingard from several years ago when pre-production was beginning on Godzilla vs. Kong right after Kong Skull Island came out. This is how he described the movie, Godzilla vs. Kong. It's a massive monster brawl movie. There's lots of monsters going crazy on each other, but at the end of the day, I want there to be an emotional drive to it. I want you to be emotionally invested in them. I think that's what's going to make it really cool. This statement is incredibly exciting because not only will this film feature more monsters besides Godzilla and King Kong, but it sounds like it's going to be an all out monster fight, possibly war in this movie, and Mothra and Rodan could definitely make an appearance. I personally would love to see them both come back, whether they're watching as part, whether they're like audience members watching Godzilla and Kong duke it out, or maybe if they go in to briefly assist Godzilla in his fight against King Kong, or perhaps a third monster who's the real antagonist or villain of this movie. I don't know, but I think chances are pretty good and pretty high that both Rodan and Mothra could appear. Now, it's entirely possible they may both sit this one out, or maybe at least one of them would. If one of them had to sit it out, I would prefer Rodan. It's probably because I just like Mothra so much. And given how Rodan has resumed his hibernation and is now sleeping in that volcano, he may sleep through the entire duration of Godzilla vs. Kong with only Mothra to appear. Then again, maybe Mothra's egg won't hatch at all, and Rodan could appear. But further evidence that Mothra could appear is the fact that the actress who played the two twin sisters in King of the Monsters, the ones whose family members had been members of Monarch for all these years, the fact that that actress is going to be in Godzilla vs. Kong as well, I think is also further proof that Mothra could very well be part of this movie. What role will she play? I don't know. But I think chances are looking pretty good that at least Mothra could appear in this film, possibly Rodan. Ideally, both. To what extent, I don't know. It would just be awesome to see them share the big screen with Godzilla yet again, and then for them to meet face to face with King Kong of all monsters, because they've, in the history of cinema, these monsters have never met each other on the big screen before. At least Kong, Rodan, Mothra. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But those are my thoughts and feelings regarding whether or not Rodan and Mothra could appear in this movie. What do you guys think? I would love to see them come back in Godzilla vs. Kong, or maybe they'll be glossed over completely and the focus will just be on our two title characters. I want to hear your thoughts and your opinions down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome rest of your day. Godzilla vs. Kong is due to come out November 20th of this year. Release date has not been changed, however, it very well could due to the ongoing pandemic. Stay safe, everybody. Don't forget to wash your hands. And of course, until next